I'm
All right, Kevin, thank you for being on the Give a Damn podcast today.
My pleasure. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, doing well. Just enjoying my time here at home. Just had some breakfast, and now just being with you and just wanting to chat and just kind of enjoy it.
I need to give you some props to start because for those that don't know, which they probably don't, you are the actual reason for the Give a Damn podcast. You came to my house several times and walked me through how to do my first episode. Like it takes that like one person who is going to hang on a second. I'm gonna lock my dog and we're gonna cut this out. I gotta lock my dog in my bedroom. She's crying. Hang on. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. We're not gonna do this right now. Come on. Yep. Okay, good girl. Lay down. Goodbye. I was like, oh hell no, girl, we ain't doing this.
Not today, honey.
Not today, honey. You got to give your mama 40 minutes. That's it. Oh yeah, by the way, this will be like 30 minutes or so. Okay, so let me cut back. Well, okay, so I really need to start out by giving you some props, Kevin, because you are the actual reason for the Give a Damn podcast. It always takes one person who gets to be like a mentor to you. Like if you're lucky enough, someone will reach out and pay it forward. And you did that for me. Like you literally drove to my house multiple times. You gave me one of your microphones. You like let me choose music from your account. I mean, you actually set me up in such a beautiful way. So I just kind of want to start by giving you a public acknowledgement of that and saying thank you.
You are welcome. I believe that it's really important to be a blessing to others. Especially people that have been a blessing to me. You see something in someone, you see the hunger that they have in wanting to create a podcast or create videos. And I honestly do believe that in order for us to grow, we need to share everything that we've learned with each other so we're able to go to that next level. So it's my pleasure. I love helping you.
But and that's what I love so much about you is that's what we kind of bonded on right away is that's really special and that's really unique. Not everybody feels that way. I think more than ever, but I think you and I met and just and we met through my boyfriend and I stole you. I say that all the time. I was like, no, I choose Kevin. Because I just think that you and I have this really special relationship and I appreciate that. Like I feel that like love from you when I'm in your presence always, that you just like want to serve. And I really appreciate that about people in general and especially you. So I gave a little intro about you, but can you just like, let's kick this off. Like tell us about you. Where are you from? Who are you? What do you do? And then we'll get into more later.
Absolutely. So my name is Kevin Francis. I'm 29 years old, originally from Palm Springs, California. Moved here to LA about a year ago, last month. I really was reaching the glass ceiling in my hometown. I felt like I've done everything that I could from working in full-time ministry at my church, being the executive pastor there, being a spiritual advisor for a few people and clients that I have in Palm Springs, and now residing in Los Angeles and establishing new clientele, also affirming churches here in Los Angeles, and really just trying to establish a new culture of truly what is an affirming church, what is an inclusive church really, and where young people like myself and you and just anybody can come together and just worship in spirit and in truth. So that is the calling on my life. I have a couple other things, the music abilities and stuff like that. But honestly, I'm what I call I'm in the people business, and that I believe the most important business to be in. I mean, because of the fact of you're handling people's lives in a really intimate state. Not everyone is going to share certain things with you, and I think it's an honor that people entrust in me that they're able to share their experience, their fears and their experience and things that they're going through.
Mm.
And honestly, just to give you a sense of hope, like, hey, you're not the only one going through that. You know what I mean? There are millions of people, like, especially of where we are right now in this crisis, there are millions of people that have lost their jobs, families trying to survive. And I think that it is so crucial and important right now where we are in this time to just be uh, really sensitive in that have an open hand and really being able just to help each other while we get through this crisis, because I do believe that we will get over it. We just now have to start healing and then pursue from that.
Yeah, I kind of built my platform, and I think we've talked about this too, on being relatable is so important. Like, and LA is a place, right, where that can look really different. Like, people, you post on Instagram and everything looks so great, but that makes people feel really bad. That's really hard on people. So to talk to someone and be like, you're not alone, I'm going through the same thing, no matter what you see on my social media or whatever, I think is so important. I'm curious how you got into that, and also, like, how does that look different in LA versus Palm Springs? Because I'm guessing it does. Like I just kind of said, like, LA definitely has a different culture. So kind of a two-part question, like, how did you get into that? Like, what draws you to, like, wanting to help and heal? And and how does that look different here?
What made me get into it was because I was lost. I came out of as an openly gay pastor, and the tables turned so quickly, and I found myself, just once I was out, thinking that there was going to be this sense of, yes, there was a sense of relief, but I was alone. I was so used to my everyday life and being in church and serving and inspiring people that by the time I came out of it, I was alone. So I'm not a writer. There are some writers that can write their feelings and release it. Mine, I express my feelings on social media. And I really believe that really helped me and helped others to see, like, okay, wow, like, he's expressing his self through this page where I'm able to relate to it. So it really, really is, it was my own struggle that helped me kind of identify that, and reaching out to other people, like Ryan, for an example. I met Ryan 2 years ago, and when I first moved to Los Angeles, that was my dude. You know what I mean? He was the one that kept kind of pushing me and really kind of getting me into this place of being comfortable with that. Now that I'm in a bigger city where you had hundreds of people in Palm Springs. Now you have hundreds of thousands of people in Los Angeles, that it's a large capacity. You know what I mean? So yes, it is a challenge. Not everybody's going to be able to relate to what I'm saying, but if I can have 5 people or 2 people, I know that I'm doing my job, and I know that I'm able to inspire others.
Yeah, absolutely. How does, so you mentioned you came out as an openly gay pastor, which I'm guessing, so now again, small town versus big city, how that looked probably very different in Palm Springs versus being that in LA. And we had this, like, really beautiful conversation the other night that I am mad I didn't secretly record. But we always have cool, we'll reinvent it. I mean, we always have beautiful conversations, which is part of the reason I wanted to have you on, because of how authentic you are. But I know you're still wrestling with that right now still. But how does that look different here in LA? Is it easier for you? And have you kind of, like, found that home yet? Because that's really what it is.
I feel like just because I've left doesn't mean that I'm going to wake up one day and be like, wow, it's finally here, we did it. No, it's a process. It's a process because the fact of, when you look at churches here in Los Angeles, it's based on Catholic or some other form of Christianity. I'm a Christian. I'm non-denominational, so the culture is very different. So it has been a challenge. But there are certain individuals out here in Los Angeles that have kind of been really mentoring me and really giving me a different perspective on how to approach Los Angeles. You know, they've been out here for years and doing it. You know, there is a church in Pasadena that does an incredible job of really preaching the gospel as an affirming church. But do I think we're still in that stage. You know, I believe that it'll take about 5 years for us to really implement when it comes to place here in Los Angeles. I believe I'm in this state.
Oh, hang on. You cut out a little bit. Are you there? Oh, no. Are you there?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Oh, there you are. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. Can you say that again? You cut out.
So I believe that I am at a point where I'm healing, learning, and creating the culture for myself. So I'm able to live it, so then other people can see around me like, wow, okay, here is a successful, you know, gay man that loves God, that is able to do these things. Because I'll tell you, a lot of people that I've spoken to that are, you know, LGBTQ plus, you know, they're afraid. They don't want to go to a church because let's be honest, they will judge you, you know.
Yeah.
And when I'll never forget the day that I decided to move to Los Angeles and really pursuing that, it was okay. There's not a place like that in Los Angeles. And ever since then, it's been on my heart to create a place where people can come together, worship in spirit and truth, can build connections. You know, I have an entrepreneurial spirit. So just because I want to start a church doesn't necessarily mean that I don't want you to be successful in what you are doing. You know what I mean? If it's music, if it's modeling, acting, singing, dancing, there are other people that you can be connecting with that can sharpen you, that can mold you, that can challenge you, that can help you. You know, I believe that we're in this time in 2020 where we're in what I call open collaboration.
Ooh,
You know, where,
yeah.
you know what I mean? If you look at it, everybody's collaborating. You know what I mean? Because of the fact of it's something that we should have done a long time ago, but because of we're so focused on our lifestyle that it has brought us to a place that we're so focused on all our social media platforms and making sure everything is good, and yet we're not showing the good, the bad, and the ugly, you know. So it's like now we're able to be like, hey, you know, here is what I'm going through, here's what this is how I worked through it, and that creates a very, very, very big impact in the conversation, in your life, in the goals that you're trying to reach and accomplish. So I think it's really, really, really important to understand that it starts with yourself. You know, it's not you may get lucky and wake up one morning and post something and it goes viral. And then 6 weeks later, you know, you have 200, 300 people in your congregation, your church is started. That has happened for people. But for myself, and being, you know, I'm 29 years old, I'm learning every day, and really being able to collab with others gives me a sense of being more creative in my writing, being more creative in my videoing, and giving people different perspective, because I'm not just talking to Christians. I'm not just talking to Muslims. I'm talking to people that don't believe in God, but believe in science. I'm talking to people that like to meditate. I'm talking to people that use yoga as a healing practice. You know what I mean? So it does really give you a different perspective and a different approach. And that is what we have to understand when it comes to living in Los Angeles, is that you're dealing with hundreds and thousands of people, different perspectives, man. And if you're not being able to cut and really sew together what's what, you know, it will be hard for you. But I do believe that it starts with yourself and finding people that are bigger than you, that are able to challenge you, love you, and really just bless in your life and give you the tools that you need to establish that.
Yeah, you know, I love all of this. And so you said something the other day, and I think that it's exactly what you're speaking to right now. And I've been thinking about it ever since. that there's a difference between having a life and having a lifestyle, right? So what you're saying, by not finding that like church home, by not feeling accepted, by wanting to like share that so other people who feel that same way resonate with you. I mean, that can apply really to anything. I've felt that way going into a yoga studio when I wasn't good at it. Like there's nothing more intimidating than being like, this is for me, and then walking in and being like, I'm being judged, I don't fit in here, whatever. But that's on you, because you are going for a lifestyle versus your life. And so you were saying that like you like finding that life, part of that is just like sitting in that space at home during this time and being like, what is essential to me, right? Like, what are the essential things for you, for all of us? One of those essentials are like being accepted and being loved. Being loved and accepted those are basic essential necessities that everybody wants. So
And
how do you create that? Yeah.
it's I and I said yesterday, the other day when we talked, and I'm gonna try to remember what I said. Honestly, I believe that it's actually sitting through those fears and insecurities and being in that moment, because then when you're sitting in that, of course it's uncomfortable for you because you've never dealt with anything like that. But if you're able to sit in that and deal with it and really, even if it's through meditation, I find myself, I was sharing with you the other day that I put my hands out every morning, and I just begin to receive the energy that was around me, the energy that I know that I have that in myself, and I begin to receive that. And once I begin to feel the weight of that energy, I take it and I put it on me. And I know that I'm channeling that in to the point where I can overcome that fear, because sitting in that, you question like, what is this life? Like, you begin to realize what's more important to you. So
Mm-hmm.
question, it really is kind of sitting through the mess and healing from that, and then
Mm-hmm.
receiving the energy back and stepping into it in the next day and just keep building off of it.
Yeah, and I think that what you're saying too is like you're creating that acceptance within yourself before even having to create that like physical space. And from there, like it starts with us, like you moving, right? And you're telling, I'm hearing like you come here and you kind of like you've had this goal, but you're taking this time just to sort of like, okay, if I can't find this home somewhere else, I'm going to build it. But before I build it, like, let me build it in me. And then once you build it in you, share that. What does that feel like? And then other people are like, I feel that way too. Right. And then you like create the space. And because a physical space is not enough, you're sending out a message as well that like, find your home here, like, like your why and where you want to be, and then I will welcome you with open arms. And that is exactly what this world needs right now more than anything. And I love you for just being like, that can be anyone of any faith or religion. That's
And
just like, yeah.
it's a beautiful thing, because for myself, of course, the first month of this quarantine, it was you didn't know what to do. You didn't know what to expect. You didn't know what was going on. The second month came in, and now I'm just sitting here realizing like, okay, I need to take this time right now, the same way how the earth is healing. There was an article the other day talking about how LA has the cleanest air now. You know what I mean? Like, and I remember when I was a kid, it was never like that. It was LA's, but you see LA's healing. You're starting to see animals come out more, you know what I mean? And just little,
Mm-hmm.
when I begin to see that shift take place, then I begin to look at myself as like, yeah, I need to heal from some things, because that, honestly, it's yourself that's stopping you from what you're wanting to do. And I don't want to die and not do everything that I've wanted. I want to be,
Wait. You cut out. I need every bit of that. Hang on, I lost you for a sec. Oh no, come back. Oh, there you are. Oh God, I can't lose that. That was so good. You got to say it again.
So I just feel like because of the world was healing, you saw the article in regards to how LA has clean air now. I saw coyotes, coming out and like all this other stuff because the world was at this place of I need to heal from what's been going on, what we've been doing to it. And now that I sit in my home, I'm healing. You know what I mean? Conversation with you. I'm looking at my fear and being like, you know what? I can't live in that fear anymore. I'm looking at my doubts and I can't live in doubt anymore. I'm looking at, my piano. I have I had a piano underneath my bed that I haven't brought out in a year. You know what I mean? And then I just all out of the blue just started playing it. It felt something that I missed long ago, knowing that music is my life and I enjoy it and the comfort. And it's the little things that you're being able to come back to and being like, that's the life that I remember. It was a lifestyle of, I can wear all Nikes and I can go to the gym and I can go to the clubs and do all this and all that. And it's great. And I love it. But I also love that piano. I also love how that piano makes me feel and the sounds that come out of it. I love the fact that I can sit with my roommate and we can watch TV and just chill and hang and talk about life together. That is true life. That is real life. The lifestyle will always be there, honey, but life may not be there for very long. And take advantage of this life and this time that we have right now to be able to heal, to restore, to rebuild. Man, I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you because at the end of the day, it's your choice. It's your choice that you make to do that decision. I will tell you, once we get through this pandemic, I do believe that you are going to see a shift in how people respond to just everything. I woke up yesterday from our conversation that we had the other day, and I felt different. I did. You know what I mean? My response was just not, it was something's changing. And I believe that starts with ourselves being in a quiet place, not being interrupted by your lifestyle, but being interrupted with your life. So you're able to get back in tuned because we're not there.
Yeah. And I love it. You said like this planet, first of all, I love you. Our planet is healing right now. We need to heal too. Like take a lesson from whatever else is going on in this world right now, right? Like this time is to heal. Nothing makes me more frustrated than hearing people say like, I just want this to be over. I just want this to get over with. I'm like, you're never going to get this time back to sit with yourself, like to pull your piano out from under your bed. Like the simplest, I was reading something yesterday too, like about like being an essentialist and a non-essentialist, and like all the non-essentialist items were things I am so guilty of. It was like adding too much on your plate, being spread too thin, wanting to do everything, and then the essentialist, like I did this exercise yesterday where I made a list of what was essential to me. And that starts with like basic needs. Like for me, like, and I know you and I are like, we like our health and wellness, right? And then but then it's like for you, like, okay, well, essential is music. Essential is your quiet time, like to heal and meditate and pray. Like essential is your faith. So then where do you take those things from there? And then when this all is over, incorporating those into your lifestyle life, which I'm obsessed with that because we don't have those influences right now. I mean, we've kind of never not been influenced before, except like when we were children, right? So finding those things, and then I think the most important thing are people like you who are sharing that, like sharing that with your community, sharing that with your world, and saying, this is what I'm doing, this is how I'm feeling. I'm like, you told me this is why, like, I just think you're such a hustler. Like, you were like, everyone lost their jobs. And then you were like, what am I going to do? I'm going to get a job where I can get a job at a grocery store. And then you told me you sat and greeted every person. How are you? How are you feel? Like, I told my mom about that. I've been thinking about that a lot. Like, giving you turned this time to work, not to happen to you, but to happen for you.
Yes.
And right. And then second, so you're like, all right, I'll hustle, I'll get a job where I can get a job. Like, that is like my biggest pet peeve when people are like, well, I'm like, you know, a victim. No, you're not. You can make anything beautiful for yourself, and you do that, Kevin. Like, and then to say, like, you took that to the next level. Well, I'm not just going to show up to my job every day. I'm going to make an impact on people. I'm going to connect with these people who are scared, who are standing in line, who are frustrated. And I would bet you that some of those people like never had a genuine connection like that before, where like someone just like, you know, we're going out in public, someone's like, how are you? Like, how are you feeling right now? You know, that's going to stick with them forever. It's those little things that I'm hoping, like you said, I hope that those stick when this ends.
And that is key to that. It's the little things, okay? If you start practicing the little things now, okay? My next door neighbor, every morning we have a cup of coffee. I don't like we sit down, we have a cup of coffee, we talk, we you know, talk about the news, talk about whatever. But what I'm doing is I'm building community.
Yep.
Okay. By the how are you doing? You know, that builds community. If we can start practicing the little things now, I believe that once we get out of this pandemic, when things arise, we will know how to approach them. You know what I mean? Like, there is going to be a sense of a next level Kevin. There's going to be the next level of you. You know what I mean? Because you've practiced the principles that your parents, your grandparents taught you. When you look at baby bloomers, you know, here's what I love about seasoned people is they have wisdom, but they've always taught me one thing, is that's respect. And I with our generation that we have come to this place of we want respect, but yet we're not willing to give it. And you want, you know, that, well, you know, I'm a X, Y, and Z executive, or, you know, I'm a star, or I'm this and I'm that. That's fantastic. But at the end of the day, where's your heart? Where's your respect? Because it takes respect to get respect. You know, I cannot say it. You know, I mean, it starts from the beginning. You know, it starts from the littlest things, and and I say it like this: if God can bless you with the small things, and you're able to cherish those small things, and you know, prime example, my first apartment was in Palm Springs, California. It was like a 200 square foot little studio. I mean, it was ghetto, honey, but made that apartment look like it was freaking coming out of a magazine, honey. Why? For my little apartment. And now I'm able to be in Los Angeles in a 3-bedroom condo, you know what I mean? Because I was grateful for the little things. So if we're grateful for the little things and just simply saying, hello, hey, how are you? How are you doing? How can I pray for you? Hey, do you want to do some meditation? Hey, do you want to go on and jump on a yoga session with me? Or hey, do you want to start a creative writing? Whatever it is, you're building that momentum. And the more and more you begin to put it out there in the universe every day, listen to me. Once you begin to do that, when you have your hands open, okay, that energy that you've put out there, you're building that energy and you're holding that energy so that by the time that you get empty, it just comes back to you. And it falls on to the point that it gives you, it's just like you're just starting all over. You know, it's like it's like the battery thing with the rabbit. You know what I mean? It keeps giving you just booming, just going for it. You know what I mean? That is the fact that we are able and capable of doing. Why? Because there's energy all around us. If it's wherever, however you call it and what you call it. I call mine God. God gives me the energy that I need to go out there and really speak life into people. And if we're able to conquer that, I really believe that you will have an impact in your lifestyle and in your life. And then you'll begin to remove the style and just keep life. Because your
Yes.
life, the style is, I feel like the style is the brand. You know what I mean? And then
Uh-huh.
that you just build off of that. You don't build off of like anything else. You're branding yourself to the point that you begin to lose who you are because you've been so caught up in the lifestyle of itself. We need to get back to the root of our lives. What is important to us? How can we get there? And it's little conversations like this that make a big impact in our world today.
I love you. I couldn't love you more. I needed you. I needed to talk to you, and I needed you to share this on this podcast. So whoever needs to hear this, because I just really think so many people need to hear what you have to say. Your wisdom is gold, and I know a lot of people are privy to it, but I was like, let me share this now with my whole entire community. Like, y'all are welcome, because every time I talk to you, I feel the same way. I just feel I'm like lit up right now. Like if I had energy, like there would be just this glow around me because of this. So thank you for sharing that. And thank you for just like walking in your truth and being a leading example. Because again, I think it's one thing to like tell people to do something. It's another thing to do it yourself. And I know I'm guilty of that as well. Like for so long, I was like, do this, be that. And then I was like, am I doing that? Am I walking that way? Am I talking that way? You know, and it took this time where like I am walking that walk and I am talking that talk and I'm doing everything I'm telling everyone to do. And like you so very much are that person as well. And I just admire you so much. So I want to, because where I try to keep these shorter and I'd like to talk to you for 3 times as long. But I want to ask you a couple more questions to close. So one is, I know you mentioned you're praying, like healing, but like, what are your like morning rituals or nighttime rituals that sort of like you have to do every day that get you going?
I have to be up before 5 a.m.
Wow.
I have to. I've always done that. I love early mornings. Here's the reason why I do, because no one's texting me, no one's on social media, and I'm able, not even my roommate's up, but I'm able to grab myself a cup of coffee, meditate for the day, prepare myself for the day. I always need that. I always need some worship music going on in the background. I'll grab my Bible. If it's not my Bible, I'll grab a motivational book and I'll sit there, I'll read for a minute and just kind of prepare myself. Something I need every day, every morning before I wake up, because I know that if I'm able to prepare myself for it, I know that I can go out there and because I've already put it out there in the atmosphere. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Nighttime, I always need just 20 minutes to decompress, whatever it is. If it's me just chilling or taking a walk, or if it's just me going outside and just kind of walking around my property, whatever it is, I need those 2 things truly, 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 because I'm receiving, now I kind of need to depress. Because there are times
Yeah.
where you're having to be a support for your family, and you may be going through some things too, but you know that you can handle them differently. So I'll put my things aside and focus on what's important to my friends and my family and really try to be there for them. So those are the 2 important things that I need. Of course, working out, I do that, but that's more of that's my exercise. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but those are the 2 most important things, is to kind of just be in the moment by myself with God, with the universe, and being able to receive and then kind of.
Oh, you cut out. Oh, you said being able to receive in what?
being able to receive in the morning and then
Hmm.
put at night when I have my quiet time.
I love that. I love that. Thank you. I love the early risers of the world.
Oh, yeah, I love it.
And then my final question to you, Kevin Francis, is what do you give the most damns about?
What do I give a damn about?
What do you give the most damns about?
Hmm. What do I give the most damn? That's an interesting question.
For example, some people are like myself. Some people are like my face. I give the most damns about music.
I would probably have to say my friends.
Mm,
I would, because you have friends from all over, like everywhere. You know what I mean? Like so I can call whatever I'm going through. I know I can call on one of my friends to help me or kind of bring me back into the path. Yeah, my friends, because
I
they're,
love that.
you know,
Yeah. Thank you. This is so good. You are so very good. I am honored, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. I am honored that you came into my life, and I'm just so excited to share you with the Give a Damn community because you helped me make this, my friend.
you did all the work. I was just there, kind of.
I was like, what do I do? This is so scary. Because you also have a podcast. You have the Made
Yes, yes.
podcast.
The Made podcast really soon. We're recording a couple things, and but right now we're just kind of just enjoying this and really kind of just really in this quarantine and receiving and healing. So that's where we're
Yeah.
at.
Yeah. And where can people find you on social media? Are you just Kevin Francis?
Kevin Francis Official on Instagram. So that's where I do a lot of my Instagram is my best friend. I mean, you could find me on Facebook, but you're going to find a lot of my day-to-day things on Instagram at Kevin Francis Official.
Perfect. Good. All right. Well, thank you, Kevin. I really appreciate you being on the podcast today. For everyone listening, I really hope you enjoyed that as much as I just did. I hope everybody has a really wonderful rest of your week or your day whenever you're listening to this. And as always, remember, give a damn about your community, give a damn about your neighbor, or most importantly, give a damn about your damn self. Have a
Come
good
on.
day, everybody.